Welcome to Reality After Show coverage of Survivor Australia v. the World, Season 1, Episode 6. I'm Jonny Fairplay, joined by that's right, winner of Brains v. Brawn, Dose, and also, just reminded, someone that walked into the merge with the Steal a Vote and and an idol. What's up, Myles?
Hey, yeah, I'm really excited. First of all, I got my little Rebels buff as a little tribute to our fallen soldier tonight. But yeah, it's awesome episode to be podcasting about, and yeah, I agree. Two equally good players walking into merge with Steel an idol and an idol in their pocket, in my opinion.
I'm gonna let Parvati know that in the world of Survivor, she can rate herself to you.
Hey, and she's number 2. I got there first.
Oh wow! All right, once again, shots
No,
fired.
I've been freaking out. It's very exciting, obviously, just to even be in the same, to have any comparisons, right? Like it's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's really exciting. It's been a very fun 2 merge episodes. I really enjoyed your podcast with Logan and enjoyed that episode. And now we get an awesome episode to talk about again.
Oh, we got a great one. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention your incredible shirt available at jonnyfairplay.com or fairplayshirt.com. I don't know. They're everywhere. There's definitely a link. I'm wearing my drunk Uncle Bruce shirt. Remember the first time we saw Bruce? It was just like, oh, this stoic guy that know, like, oh, Jeremy Collins 2.0. This is gonna be awesome. And then
the drops immediately, and it's like, oh, this guy is a lot.
This is your weird uncle.
Yeah,
who drinks at family functions. So yeah,
totally.
My drunk Uncle Bruce shirt available at there's a link at jonnyfairplay.com for this shirt. This hat you cannot get unless you have a DeLorean with a flux capacitor. This is a 1988 Daytona Winston Cup hat. So
that's very cool. I think this shirt is actually the largest shirt that I own. I think it's like a 2XL because you didn't have any other shirts available.
Well, next time I'm back in my second home, Australia, and it's. All right, I've always heard Aussie and, and I know Aussie and all that, but I thought that Aussie and Aussie were 2 separate words, but they are not. Aussie is just
some interesting pronunciations of the way you pronounce Aussie. I've noticed that. I've never pointed it out, but I was glad Logan picked up on it yesterday.
Well, I'm very teachable. So, I know Melbourne, as I mentioned with Logan, it's Toronto. You do not say the last T. Yeah. I know the words Brisbane. I know the words but I thought Aussie and Aussie were 2 separate words, and when I see them spelled one way, I thought Ozzy was spelled, kind of like Ozzy Osbourne.
Like Ozzy the Survivor player.
Yeah.
Ozzy.
Yeah. So no, I got it now. Once again, easily teachable. And I'm glad I learned that prior to getting the Aussie tribe logo like George got. That's going to be part of my sleeve, because I do consider Australia my second home.
Yeah, an honorary Aussie.
Yeah. Don't tell the world tribe. Tommy's going to come after me next week.
Yeah, and we know Suri doesn't like anything Australian, so
we're going to get to the Suri of it all. Trust me, it's in the notes. So, episode 6, previously on Survivor, we are merged. Parva's the Princess of Power. I've hated this princess term this entire season, but I feel like this kind of works with it, especially with the alliteration of it all.
Yeah, definitely Parvati, I think, gives off a lot more princess vibes than Kirby does. So I think I can see her because she's, I do feel like the best example I feel like is with Russell, right? Like I feel like Parvati and Russell's relationship. And then like in Micronesia, I do think she's often like the princess of the tribe. Like she's being pampered. She's got the men like coming up to her, and the women in this case coming up to her and courting her, right? Trying to lock her down, lock her in. So I think it kind of works.
I think Parvati, it's funny because I read I check out the comment. I used to not check out the comments, and this season everyone has been so kind and amazing and vocal in the comments. I have been reading them, and so someone's just like, I'm in shock watching Fairplay like say nice things about Parvati because he typically does not, and that's true and not true. And like we've just never been friends. Like, we've been acquaintances, but we have different circles. It's great. We have different circles, but like her best friends are like Boston Rob and Ethan. And one of my best friends is Ethan, and myself and Boston Rob have become friends, but we still have never all hung out all together or whatever. Hooked up. No, we're not. So it's just like that. It's just a different group. And but so I put over my friends more than my non-friends friends. But at the same time, I've always said heroes versus villains. I consider Parv's game the one of, if not the best U.S. game ever played.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So the fact that I'm saying nice things, but in the evolution of Parvati, was Parvati trading jerseys to a pink jersey the greatest pre-game move in the history of a new season of a returning player of a Survivor?
Oh, it's incredible. And I do love that we've just had this recurring theme now that continues into the merge of the women. there's a lot of women love and women representation, and to what extent it's like explicit versus just the girls getting along, who knows? But it's definitely an ongoing theme throughout the season that's very funny and enjoyable to watch. We're seeing the Black Widow, we're seeing Parvati Micronesia game, but we're essentially seeing it round 2, but it's the girls' turn. It's not just the dumb guys this time. Now it's the girls' turn to get done by it.
Well, I will say there's been a lot of time since 2008 and 2025 in the world as we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think gay marriage was gay marriage a thing in 2008, because I feel like it's right around there.
No, I think it was a little bit later, if I remember correctly.
So I mean, you guys have probably had it in Australia forever. In America,
no, we got it after you guys.
Really?
Crazy. Yeah. We got it quite late. We got it. I mean, I can't remember specifically, but we got it pretty late relative to you guys. You guys got it much earlier than we did.
I remember the initial arguments, from the people that had that stance. They're just like, I mean, I don't, and I'm just like, can't they be just as miserable as us?
Yeah.
Do you just want the misery for yourself?
Yeah. Can't you let Parvati make a fool of the women as well as the men here? Come on, guys.
Yeah,
equality.
Equal opportunity offenders here. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, yes. All right. We end the previously on with the Kirby wants to play with powerful people. Sarah was blindsided, and we begin the episode. Luke was blindsided. Holy moly! Yeah. And Kirby was like, "Well, I kind of told you."
Yeah. I mean, she's right, but he's also just as right to feel frustrated about it all, right? At that point, I think the Australia Alliance is done.
Yeah. And he was never going to turn on an Aussie. And Janine and Luke now don't like Australia like Suri or even stuff from Australia. That's the word on the street. So feel free to spread that misinformation that Janine and Luke are anti-Australians and even stuff from Australia.
Oh my God. Okay, happily. We'll be spreading it around.
Great. Janine's Boost sales are going do not buy Boost stock today. I don't know if she's publicly traded. So I did learn you don't want to make a deal with Janine outside of the game.
Oh.
Well, she even said in business, if I'm making a deal that sounds good for me, it's not. It's good. It's only good for me.
Yeah. I mean, great skills for Survivor though. I feel like she had a pretty good episode. I feel like she had a bit of a breakout episode here, right?
This was her coming out episode. This was her coming out episode. And she's the only female that's not gay.
He's also like the only Australian tribe member that's kind of come out of this looking in a decent spot as well, right? Like,
Yeah.
bizarrely, who would have picked early on and all the like she's voted incorrectly so far every time, and then suddenly she's come out. It's like, oh, she's kind of Stephen Bradbury a bit, where like everyone else, all the other Australians have just fallen over around her, and she's like, oh my god, I'm in a comfy spot here suddenly.
Yes. Well, she wakes up to find out that everyone she knows is in a cult, and it's just like, they're in a cult, but have they paid their money yet?
Yeah.
Because that's the key to a good cult, is the financial part. So if they haven't, signed over power of attorney or made their 15th installment, there's still hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Parv wakes up. Wow, it is so nice cuddling with Kirby. I don't know nothing, but I felt like they had a really good sleep. Did you catch that? I mean, they both woke up like I wake up, a couple times a week.
Yeah.
That was a good sleep, babe. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, could just be totally the blind side dopamine, right? Like, I mean, it's been a long time for you, but definitely waking up after pulling off the good move.
Thanks. Shots fired, Myles. It's been years, Fairplay. Hey, I blindsided lots of people on House of Villains.
Of course. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good feeling waking up the next day after that, and I imagine it's especially good if you've got your partner in crime, in your arms.
I mean, I enjoy a good cuddle. I also really enjoy more than a good cuddle. I mean, and for everyone, just like, what is that? Truth be told, we're on day what here?
Oh god, I don't even know. It'd be like what, 7, 8, something like that. It's pretty
I
early.
feel like they're showing it less, and if they are, because it's such a short season, I don't think they want to drive home the fact that it's a short season, because we're just used to, it's like day 47 is like, shut up.
Yeah, I think you're totally right, and you can see as well and we'll get on to. Oh no, we talked about that yesterday. The reward, like, people were not bidding that aggressively, right? Like, I do feel like you can really tell the difference in that they're kind of just like, oh, food, it is what it is.
Yeah, $40.
Yeah.
40 bucks gets you everything, apparently. So no, I will state this fact. They're probably, let's say, day 8 for argument's sake, probably maybe even 10, who knows, but let's say they're day 8. You stink right now. Yeah. You literally, so for those of you at home, it's just like, because there's a lot of people with a lot of money, and that helps hygiene. I have found, and not always, not 100% the case, but I do feel percentage wise, more money, higher hygiene standards. Day 8, I don't care if you're a zillionaire, you stink on day 8.
Nah, but you can't smell what anyone else stinks like.
Yeah, but you still, I mean, like, I don't know. Did you cuddle on Brains?
I wasn't a big cuddler, to be honest. I just was always kind of on the outside, a few cuddles with a few people. But yeah, I definitely wasn't one of the people who was, especially not that kind of like very close cuddling like that. Like, I was cuddling when it was freezing cold and I was in desperate need of a cuddle.
Did you go get farted on by Kaylin, or did you go a different route?
I actually was one of the few people that got to sleep in the Kaylin shelter, the separate Kaylin shelter, because I wouldn't cuddle in.
That's the key for not cuddling?
That's the key. The girls did like to cuddle Kaylin, and Kaylin did not like Kaylin did not like getting cuddled by the girls. And that's not like he swings the other way team. That's just Kaylin's a Kaylin.
Yeah. So my fiance reminds me nightly that I just emit heat nonstop. In real life, just getting heat for being an asshole or whatever. But like, body wise, I emit a lot of heat, and lots of people like to cuddle me to stay warm at night.
I mean, I see it. You're like hairy, you're soft, I imagine you'd
I'm
be a good.
hairy. Oh my God. I feel it's all right here.
Yeah, okay, maybe I mean I haven't looked, so like
Oh,
I
okay.
just look at your head and I just assume.
Sure. So, yeah, Riken from The Amazing Race, who used to date Lance Bass. We were all hanging out one night, and he's like, we had done this show, Kill Reality, and we had done the scene, and we had there was a kiss. And I posted on one of my social. He's like, "Could you please take that down?" And I was just like, "Sure." I was like, "Well, it was on E television." He's just like, "Yeah." He was like, "The gays don't love you," and I'm just like, "Excuse me?" And he was just like, "You're hairy. You're not nice." And I was just like, "I'm hairy," and I'm like, "Isn't that a thing?" And he's just like, "Yeah, but not with you." And I was like, "Wow." Like, I mean, like, like, it wasn't, isn't there like there's bears,
Yeah,
there's just like none of those apply to you, fair play. It's just
that's bizarre. You strike me as someone that would be popular amongst the gays.
Well, I think this is early. I feel like visions across the board have changed. So this is
Yeah.
2005.
Ah.
Looking at Jonny Fairplay and under one lens, and it's just like, oh no, is he really an ally? Can he be an ally? Will we allow him to be an ally? I'm like, dude, I'm fucking good. I'm an ally. Relax. So yeah, 20 years later, I think I'm cool according to Brent
Yeah.
LaBelle. I don't know if he's the litmus test, but yes, 2005 is like, can you please take this off your MySpace? Thanks, Riken. So, Lance Bass, of course, did not have a problem because Lance Bass loves everyone.
Oh, that's lovely. These are
Yeah,
references that are going straight over my head. I don't know who any of these people are.
you don't know who Lance Bass is?
I was 5 years old in 2005, Johnny.
Well, they still play their songs. He's like a Backstreet Boy or an NSYNCer. He's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I know who those bands are, but I don't know anyone about like anyone from them except maybe isn't Timberlake from one of them.
Sure. I don't know if he's in the same one or a different one.
That's the extent of my Backstreet Boys and NSYNC knowledge.
Well, I feel we're pretty comparable on. It's just like there's Justin Timberlake and Lance Bass. And all of my knowledge ends there as well. All right.
Back to Survivor.
Parv and Kirby are now wearing matching outfits.
Yeah.
Right. Kirby really wants this, and at this point, I'm like, she's in love.
Yeah, it is so fascinating watching Kirby, who's just been chilling this whole time and had everyone coming up to her, like obsessing over her, and now it's just completely flipped. Like, gone is the super chill, easygoing Kirby from pre-merge.
Kirby and Sarah.
Kirby is Sarah. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if like I've ever seen a like pre to post merge flip in depiction.
A flim flam?
Yeah, flim flam like this.
To this extent.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like we haven't seen it with anyone else. Like in Titans versus Rebels, we never really saw anything like that. We haven't seen it with any of the Australian players, and it's just Parvati's come along, and Kirby just seems obsessed.
Yeah. Well, Parvati says, I invented the flirt game. And I'm like, yes, indeed, you did, girl. So what is the term for what part? So before I ask that, someone in the comments yesterday is like, Logan is saying strategically that, Shawnee and Suri are doing nothing, and Fairplay's just sitting there, shaking his head like a bobblehead, agreeing. No, I was agreeing with the statement that the game that Parvati or the game that Shawnee and Suri are playing right now is not a winning vote game.
Yeah, it's a very passive game.
Have they gotten to where they are? Yes, but I need the second half of the season to be the Parvati or to be the Suri or Shawnee game. Or I'm sorry, based on the first half of the game, this has been Parvati and Kirby's game.
Yeah, no, totally. And I do think that I don't know about Sari because I haven't watched enough of her seasons, but Shawnee has this thing that happens where, like, because she's this really iconic Australian survivor character, I think people like kind of wash her game in their mind, like, kind of look at it with rose colored glasses at her previous games. With, I think, Heroes versus Villains, she played an exceptional game and she was in a lot of control for a lot of that game. But if you look at her other two seasons, she wasn't someone who was there, like, making these big strategic moves, dictating votes and whatnot. Like, she played great games and she maneuvered through quite well. But, like, I think the way that people see Shawnee is very heavily influenced by Heroes versus Villains, when that actually hasn't really been her game consistently. And even then, it was still at like a kind of second in command backseat to George, who was the one really driving everything. And like, so Shawnee, excellent player in her own right, but is not the kind of like strategically dominant player that a lot of people consider her to be.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm like I love Shawnee. I'm a Shawnee fan and stan. If Shawnee wins this season, and I'm like, I'm good. This is all I needed. Check please. This is great. Sari, but I could have been the same way on a Kirby and Parvati. And if I'm scoring at home, up until this episode, it was Kirby, Parvati tied for first place, and everyone else behind.
Yeah. Can I also say something that everyone's going to get really angry at me for?
Please. Those are my favorite things to say.
Yeah, I am not loving the Shawnee self-referential meta confessionals that she's doing with all of the we're gonna do this thing and it's giving the people what they want and it's gonna be iconic and what, like, there were, when it first came up, like when she mentioned like her like Ishonic line, like that was fun. But the fact that like seemingly all of the content that we're getting from Shawnee, and obviously she's got a lot of content that we're not
the
seeing,
Sean
right? Like the editors, yeah, the Sean-tent. But but the fact that like all of the content that we're seeing from Shawnee in confessionals is constantly just being like, I'm gonna do this and work with this person or take this person out, and it's gonna be iconic, because and it's what the people want and whatnot, like, is starting to grate me a little bit.
I'm with you, and I've gotten my fill. I'm good. But I was, for yesterday's episode, was just like, hey, you wanted me in Parv? Here you go. And I'm just like, we did want you in Parv. Like that one, like that one's I allowed the most, and I was and like literally one of the coolest fan moments for me
100%.
as a fan. I'm just like, oh my god, she even talked about it. It's happening, and she said it. Like that, totally. I like. But some of the other is just like, just be Shawnee.
Yeah. I feel like out of all of the times I've seen Shawnee play, this feels like the least authentically Shawnee that I've seen her, if that makes sense.
It's Shawnee doing the greatest hits.
Yeah, exactly. It's Shawnee playing Shawnee, essentially.
Yeah, it's Shawnee playing where like Parvati's doing the greatest hits, but like she's doing them
in real time. Yeah, she's making great hits in real time.
Yeah, where Shawnee is remember, like, here we're gonna do this one, not it's she's just it's like going to see a rapper in concert and they're singing over the record.
Yeah.
And it's just like some bands have bands and they don't sing over their actual lyrics.
Yeah, and I mean, like, here's the thing: Shawnee at her worst is still better than like 90% of Australian Survivor players when it comes to confessionals. So, like, I'm not I'm not being like, man, this sucks and she sucks. But it's just like relative to what we've seen before and what we know that Shawnee can deliver. I was being like, I'm a little bit underwhelmed, And now the Shawnee fans are going to absolutely come after me because they are the most ruthless group of stands out there, I think.
Oh yeah. So it's kind of Coach-esque.
Yeah, actually that's a great example. I mean, obviously,
and who doesn't love Coach?
Yeah, totally different like vibes, but same thing in that it's kind of like that. I mean, I think it's slightly different in that Shawnee's not trying too hard. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. It's just
she's kind of phoning it in.
Yeah, while with Coach, he was doing the opposite. He was over the top. But both are similar in that both of them are coming off as just slightly inauthentic.
Yeah, they both drink the same. All right, so getting back to where we start with this, what Parvati is doing and Kirby was doing, and now Kirby doing or Parvati doing to Kirby. Because there's a term that I'm looking for that I can't put my finger. It's not love bombing. Like my head is telling me it's just like it's like that's not it. I don't think it's glazing.
No, I think it's like the opposite. Like I mean, it's hard because they're not ignore. It's not like I'm not trying to say she's negging them or anything, but it's more like she's just so chill, right? Like what Kirby was doing with Sarah and what Parvati's doing with Kirby. It's the one person that is being just so chill and not like it's like you're cool, but I don't care, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the best way to put. I mean, I don't know because it's not something that I think I could ever pull off in my life. But
I don't think I have that ability, and I have a lot of abilities. Like
it's like I don't really care, but you're kind of cool. Like that's what it is. It's like, hey, you're all right.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a term that's just escaping me, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, it's almost reverse love bombing, but that's not it. Like there is something there, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, and on it, there might not be a word for it, and that's why it's so effective because you can't put a term on it.
Yeah. It's I don't even know. It's totally bizarre to watch happen and just watching Kirby just do the complete reverse from doing it so effectively to everyone else to now just being completely caught up in it is very strange. Like I'm so curious to know what it is about Parvati specifically that Kirby is like so and I don't mean just attracted like in any specific way. I mean just drawn to, just drawn to. Like Kirby's clearly just drawn to working with Parvati.
Yeah, there's a magnetism to it, and that's that was literally the first 5 episodes of Kirby's game.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Kirby, right? Yeah.
So, well, Kirby wants to play with the best at the end. Does she? Because I feel like there's a guy named the Golden God. There's another guy named King George. So if you really want to play with the best at the end, why is Janine still here? And no, I would say no, Janine. It is Janine Shade. So prior to this episode, you literally didn't know she was on the show.
Yeah. That's a very valid point. Like Kirby's logic is pretty inconsistent here. Where it's just like, I want to play with the best, but also I mean, I guess that's what Sarah pointed out in the last episode, right? Is, hey, she's actually just being the one taking out the threats. She doesn't want to keep the threats around. And I suspect that that's probably like the deciding factor in what made Parvati not play her idol. Because I reckon if Parvati is like for sure that Kirby is willing to sit with her at the end, she probably plays the idol for her there, I reckon. But it's the fact that she's just like, I really don't know if Kirby's just glazing me like she has with everyone else. And we know she's not. We know Kirby seems to be totally legit and locked in here. But we've seen from the outset what Kirby's done to everyone else is wrap them all around her finger, say sweet nothings to them and get them on her side. And so Parvati's probably thinking, is she just doing that with me and then she's going to take me out like she did with David and George?
Oh no, Kirby is proposing at the finale if they're the final two.
Totally.
Yes. So Fiddlestick asked if the word is negging.
No, it's not negging. No. Because negging is saying mean things to try and get. They're not. It's saying nice things, but just in such a cool, casual way. It's the cool kid who's just gone over. Who, as you're walking past the table at lunch, is like, hey, I've got a party. Do you want to show up to the do you want to rock up to the party? Right, where it's just this little bit of attention to be like, hey, like. I know who you are, and I think you're kind of cool, but I'm also not giving you too much, you know.
But I don't care if you come or not. I'm just I'm letting you know there's a party.
Yeah.
And then you walk away. It's like, oh my god, they invited me to the party.
Yeah,
and like they kind of didn't. Like they informed you that there was a party, but like you didn't leave with a card. So with the address.
Totally.
like actually you walk away, it's like, oh my god, Billy invited me to the party. It's the greatest day of my life. Where's Billy live? I have no idea.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Let's see. Cass and Lisa want to talk to Parvati, but she can't do that. People can't see them talk. And I'm just like, Parv girl, this is not a good look.
Yeah, but I actually think it's all right considering where it ends up going, right? Like, I suspect part of getting rid of Kirby is to show, like, if she is trying to hide the alliance between the world and make the world seem more fractured than they are, right? That's the right way to do it. And
Yeah,
then at the end of the day, she votes out Kirby to be like, no, I am actually with you guys.
yeah, but you gotta give a little, like
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
that's like the asshole husband that has the side girlfriend, and it's just like, yeah, I'll get to you once a month, and they're like, okay, well, month 4, I'm calling your wife.
Yeah, you're right. And I wonder if the decision to like let Kirby go at the end there is partially dictated by the fact that like of Parvati realizing, oh, the numbers don't actually work with me and Kirby. I actually need the internationals on my side here, otherwise the numbers fall apart. Because that's the way it is, right? Like even with Kirby and Shawnee, if you don't have the internationals plus Luke and Janine have larger numbers there. So I do wonder if like there's a bit of okay, no, of realizing like, oh shit, no, I'm interested in Kirby, but I can't forget about the internationals. And the thing is, Parvati's smart. I think we saw today a really big difference between Parvati and Kirby, which is I feel like Kirby is playing a very intuitive game, and that works for her. But one thing that she's consistently been shown throughout the years is that she's not actually, well, throughout this season and the last season, is that she's not like a number cruncher, right? Like I'm a number cruncher. I'm looking at like we got like these pieces. I imagine you're like that as well.
Yeah,
Parvati is a number cruncher. Yeah, Parvati's totally a number cruncher, right?
Yes.
Like that's what she's looking at. I need this many numbers. This person working with this person. I got to split them up.
I have to talk to this person today.
Yeah. Kirby's not doing that. Like Kirby's making moves on instinct and then just figuring it out later. And she's been pretty successful doing that so far. But we saw here where it kind of fell apart, where she made this big move without really thinking, how am I going to rebuild when I come back? Like where are the numbers actually going to come from?
I think that game works with newbies. I don't think that game works with people with the expert gameplay that these people that were chosen to play have.
Yeah, and I also think that that game works when there are larger numbers and it's earlier in the game and everyone's playing. Like there's a less, like as the numbers fall, you need to be more specific about I've got this person, right? Because every vote counts a lot more. Like I think in something like Titans versus Rebels, like she's able to do it like such big tribe numbers, both pre and post merge, where she's got that room to maneuver using just her social game. But in the tribe is so small at this point, even this early in merge, that she runs out of room like immediately. And yeah, as you said, against these really good players who some of them are counting the numbers very particularly.
Yeah, so I really wish this season had started with your all-on-one tribe.
Yeah, I
want to see. I want to see what this show is with. It's just individual. So, which like the game that Kirby's playing, people are going to say this is blasphemy. It's almost Rob-esque. The first person voted out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
There's
elements of it, definitely.
His game works with a newbie season. Her game works with a newbie season.
But I think they're very different reasons, though.
Yeah, they're different. But it's like, but when you're playing with the elite players, I feel the numbers game is the correct game.
I mean, it's fascinating though, because also we were rightfully glazing Kirby all pre-merge in a very small, like with some of the best players around, and she was completely dominating. But I do think she like definitely like took her eyes off the prize here. Like I think in the pre-merge she was kind of locked in, and I think in the pre-merge she was counting the numbers a little bit more, right? Because the tribe was so small and she was able to do that. And I think here she's just kind of gotten lost in everything.
She's counting one number.
Yeah, she's counting one number.
She's counting, I'm proposing at the end. This is going to be amazing. We're going to use this 250,000 to start a new life together. It's going to be great. Ferris is going to be there. It's going to be awesome. Whoa, what? Ferris? You get a Ferris reference. I'm pretty cool.
Yeah.
So let's see. So Cass and Lisa want to talk to Parv. She can't do that. People can't see them talk. They see through that shit. They're just like, you can't talk to us. Noted.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone's forgetting how good all of like usually you're kind of people who aren't getting that much attention aren't great players, and that's why they're not getting that much attention. But I don't think there's any players here that are bad players. Like even
No,
probably the one who's closest to it, at least from the edit, is Tommy. But even he, by all accounts, he dominated his game in Finland, and I don't think he's had many options so far this season. So I think he's playing perfectly fine. Like no one on here is a sucker.
no, no duds. Janine hates Kirby.
Yeah, she was spewing at Kirby. She was not happy.
Yeah. So, well, she's going to Parv. Luke is going to the Un-Americans, not the
Yeah.
International. Sorry, I needed to correct. They are the Un-Americans is the name of their tribe or their alliance. So,
Yeah.
They're no power bottoms. They're the
No.
Un-Americans.
I think Luke and Janine played this round, even though Luke ended up getting blindsided. I think the way they played this round was incredible. Where
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, and specifically, I think as a duo, AJ and I really did this on our season.
Yeah.
As a duo, it's really you cannot stick tight.
No.
You need to like people can know you're working together, but you need to have at least a level of separation, right? Like you need to have at least some extent of I'm willing to do things without this person and vice versa. So that, and even if you don't have any intention to actually do that,
Doesn't
just
matter.
so that you're hearing the plan. Yeah, you need to know about the plan. That's literally what happened with AJ and I on our season, where I was totally on the outs, but he keeps me safe because he's still in it all.
Yeah. But then when they're looking the other way, and you're and it's just like the exchange of information, because you guys would say it's just like well, you're working with AJ. It's just like, yeah, but like to an extent, like I'm looking for something else, and and AJ saying the same thing, and then you guys are reconvening, going, they're totally buying all this, and I'm just like, oh, this is so great.
And they were. A lot of people were like, how are they buying? Myles and AJ aren't working together. It worked. They were like,
you're saying it.
Yeah. But and it's something that not enough people do, especially in alliances. Like if you're number ones with someone, you should have a level of trust where you are actually comfortable going behind each other's backs. I actually think like that's the one person who you should be able to go behind their backs. You're number two, you're number three. Maybe if they go behind your backs, you're like, oh, okay, I'm a bit off them. But you're number one, you know that they're with you to the end. And so, hey, yeah, you go behind your back and help both of our games in a way that me being involved won't help. And I think Janine and Luke did that really well here.
I think Suri and Parvati are doing the exact same thing.
Yes. I think that's another great example where Suri is very clearly kind of putting distance between her and Parvati and being like, internationals, I'm with you guys. Parvati wants to do her own thing off with Kirby. I am locked in with you.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, this is just, 4D chess. Like we're literally watching 4D chess, which is
100%.
So Luke goes to the Un-Americans. Janine tells Parv Cass is coming after her. Parv, or maybe she's like, Parv is buying it.
Yeah.
Or is she? Or is she not? Or is she? And I'm just like, Parv, girl, this lady has never talked to you.
Yeah. It is very interesting that now that Janine's managed to convince two people that people who were their very close allies are coming after them, because she did the same thing with Sarah and Kirby. Like my rule of thumb is that once I hear something twice, I buy it. I think that's a fair. Hearing it the first time, like there's a lot of people who are just throwing shit at the wall. It happened to me on our season where I became a really easy scapegoat, where there was like stages in the game where just everyone thought I was gunning for them because everyone was throwing Myles is targeting you, Myles is targeting you. But like the point at which you can take it seriously is once you've got two separate connections, right?
Yeah.
But she's just
two unrelated. I mean, like if you're runner dies, it comes up to me later and it's just like it was like. Well, I'm sure you're also saying that, but two separate alliances, two separate friendship groups. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Or the other thing as well, obviously, is you can read the person, right? You read the person and you go, what vibes am I getting off them? And maybe she wasn't getting good vibes from Cass, but yeah, it's like, it is very strange that she just kind of hooked onto it straight away.
Well, I think there's an internal rivalry between Parv and Cass of who is the alpha female.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. Like, clearly, Lisa and Suri are very comfortable kind of taking a back seat there, but Cass and Parvati want to be driving things.
But and I don't necessarily think it's driving the vote. I think it's more of a physical competition thing. It's just like Parv is a challenge beast. Cass is like, hold my beer.
I think it's a mix of. I think it's just a mix of all of it. Like, I think
Yeah,
that
but I think at the top of the list is the I want to beat her at a physical challenge. So
yeah, I think that's
I because if you see like Cass has all the power, allegedly because she has immunity, which doesn't mean that, but there is a perception of that.
yeah.
Cass isn't like, all right, it's Parvati.
No.
She was just like, I showed my physical dominance. We're good.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big outlier here. I mean, if I were Cass, I would extend that physical dominance to gameplay dominance. But I don't think that's what she's looking for. I think she wants to. She was like, I'm the alpha female when it comes to challenges. You can have the other shit. I don't care. But
Yeah.
I am recognized by way of jewelry that I am superior to you.
Yeah. Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm good either way. All right. It's immunity and a reward. You're playing for a necklace and a scroll. We all love scrolls. JLP goes, how are we feeling about everything? And Kirby's like, well, we all know where we sit now. And Janine's like, really?
We have a lot of advantages in the game at this stage, right? Like, assuming that scroll is some advantage, there are a lot of advantages floating around at the moment.
I really, Logan and I were talking yesterday. I really wanted an idol plate. I feel there's too much shit out. We're on the cusp of new era Survivor here.
Yeah, but do you know what it is, right? Like, it's not that there are so many advantages being handed out. It's the fact that they're just not being played, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's the fact that everyone's just holding on to them because the people who've gotten them have been people in very comfortable positions. And also, I think in this, because the format's so short, you're not incentivized to play an idol on someone else, right? Like, in the long season, an ally is worth far more than an idol. But in this kind of short season, especially this short, fluid season where allies are potentially worth a lot less than like a ride or die for a 48-day season, I don't think the incentives are there to play an idol for someone else. And then also because the target's shifting around, I think it's a lot harder to play it for yourself as well. Like, I'll be interested to see how many correct idol plays there are this season, because I suspect it's going to be a lot harder to actually play idols correct. Like, my season, so many of our idol plays were really easy because a lot of the votes were really telegraphed. I don't think it's going to be that way this season. So I suspect we'll see a lot less just correct idol plays in general.
I don't think Luke has known a single vote.
No, has Luke vote. He's not. He knew the George vote. And technically, he knew where that was going. But other than that, he's voted incorrectly in every single vote, yet he hasn't played his idol.
It hasn't played his idol. I mean, because that's the thing. You think, like, so Tony Vlachos finds an idol, he would have played an idol by now and gone out to look for another idol.
Yeah, totally.
And Luke Toki is that type of player. And the fact that Luke Toki has literally, like if he's in Vegas, he's losing money. Like, it's just like, he's playing roulette. He's like, red, black 21. Oh, all right, black, red 7. All right. Like, he literally cannot buy a win. And he's just like, but I'm still going to hang on to this idol.
Woo. I actually think that Luke, probably out of everyone who has an idol, is the most incentivized to use his. And I don't know if he'll do this or not, but out of everyone who has an idol, he's the one who has the demonstrably worst game, right? Because I think that it comes a point, especially in such a short game, you need to have moves on your resume, especially with a lot of other people who've had a lot of control. And Luke potentially might end up in a position where he's got his idol around at Final 5. He plays it for himself. Sure, he makes it to Final 3. And then it's like the Sue thing, right? Like, okay, you played your idol. Yeah, you never needed your idol because no one saw you as a threat, right? And I do really worry about Luke, particularly because he's a guy with a really big ego, right? And he's king of the jungle. You could totally see.
Well, he has to remind people he's the king of the jungle.
Yeah. But
he is the king of the jungle. Luke, I respect you as the king of the jungle, but holy moly, do people forget including JLP.
But there's the worry that he potentially like rocks up to final tribal council, having not actually done that much, having played an idol maybe on himself correctly, or maybe just on himself at final 5, and goes, I'm the king of the jungle, I'm the big man, and I made it to final 3. And everyone goes, yeah, but what'd you do? You didn't even vote correctly for most of the game.
Yeah. So Suri as a backseat driver has a more impressive resume at this point than Luke.
Totally. Cass has a more impressive resume. Shawnee has a more impressive resume.
Well,
right?
she got George.
Yeah, like I think Luke's probably at the bottom of resumes in the game right now, and I really worry that he's just gonna keep his idol around and then just play it kind of undramatically at like 7, 6, or 5, and then just kind of cruise through. Which is crazy to think that like there's a world where Luke could end up as a GOAT, right? Like he's in any other season, he's the least goaty person out there, but you could really see it potentially.
I mean, and look at him. Could you imagine looking like that and being a GOAT? What world do we live in that Luke Toki is jacked, the best looking he's ever been his entire life, fun, charismatic, and all that, and a GOAT?
To be fair, we had Kalen in the last season, who's one of the most gorgeous men in the world and won 1,000 challenges, and still, I mean, he wasn't a GOAT, but he was firmly losing coming into final tribal.
I think he was a GOAT. I don't feel like Kalen seemed likable, but there's just this over the top personality that is Luke Toki any other season ever in the history of Survivor. He's not GOAT-esque in any way.
No, he's always one of the biggest threats, and this is the one set. But I worry about the fact that I don't know that he's going to be able to adapt his perception of himself to do that.
Yeah. I mean, like, if I'm Luke, I'm losing my mind. I'm like, I mean, did JLP remember? I had to remind him. I remember on the King of the Jungle, remember, guys? And it's just like, whoa, what is happening? So, Raw R says, Myles, you voided more votes with idols in a season than Wentworth, and also correctly took an idol.
Yes. Which we'll see if we'll have someone else who is able to correctly take an idol. I am so excited to, if she is not able to use it successfully, rage bait everyone on Twitter with some very ridiculous Twitter posts about me being better than Parvati. I wanted to fail using it just so I can get everyone really angry.
Yeah. I guess this is news by the minute. Survivor Now podcast had Adam Klein on today, and they were praising me as being the Aussies' closest ally from the US. And Adam said if myself and Adam were asked for Australia v the World, we'd both be locked in. Does that mean we're locked in together? I don't know if I like that. I literally watched my good friend Adam Klein go after all of my old friends. They're old, and I feel like I'm older than them. So I guess Ethan's got me by a year. So I don't know. I do love Adam. If anyone wants to get on Survivor, do Adam's classes, even though Jesse Tenenbaum,
even though Jeff hates them,
even though Jesse Tenenbaum and Jeff Probst say do not. So I don't listen. Don't tell Jesse and Jeff that you took Adam's classes, but I think there's lots of people that I've seen videos. I'm just like, oh God, dear Lord.
A lot of people just have no idea how to kind of pitch themselves as a Survivor player.
No, it's horrible. So super quick story. And I know people hate him, but I've heard plenty of good stories, and I understand the bad stories. Nick Wilson applied to be on Survivor like 8 times. And every time he started his video, he's like, hey, it's Nick Wilson, the hillbilly lawyer from Kentucky, and I want to be on Survivor. He's like, I like jumping off cliffs into the lake, and I love riding a 4-wheeler. And they're like, hey, we love it. We love the hillbilly lawyer. Show us you jumping off cliffs into a lake, show us you 4-wheeling, but then talk about it, and so, to do that, show that narrator role and all that. And so he did it, 8 times, and they finally got to David versus Goliath, and they're just like, and Jeff was like, I want to recreate Cochran, and his name is Christian Hibicki, and but I need a backup in case Christian doesn't make it. And it's like, how about that hillbilly lawyer?
Yeah.
So, and that's it. But it was every single time, hey, it's Nick Wilson, the hillbilly lawyer. It's those 2-word descriptors are huge.
Do you know what mine was? Because I had one as well that I think worked a treat.
The jungle rat?
Pole dancing finance, bro. Easy.
There you go.
That was like that's getting you in a second. Pole dancing finance, bro.
We got
Easy.
it. Yeah. So we understand like it. So I was recruited, so I didn't have to do any of that shit. So I'm not the one to ask. So, but no, Adam Klein does know his stuff. It's kind of crazy. Adam Klein. I mean, he's I guess I don't know if he's engaged or married. I think they got married finally. But he used to be a scumbag, like in a good like my kind of scumbag. And
yeah. Okay.
Oh my God,
like a rascal. Yeah.
Like him and Jay together, holy moly! Like we had a lot of fun at the charity events, and then because you just see him as this America's sweetheart. Who's just like, oh no, he's a scumbag. He's but so many people get the very kind of Ethan. Oh my God, he's the worst. So, but anyway, all right, let's get through this. So the challenge is hold up 2 beams with 15% percentage of your body weight. Saria's out in less than a minute and says, "Oh shit." And I'm like, I love Australian Survivor so much because we get oh shit.
Yeah. Have you been liking the challenges? I've been really liking the challenges so far.
Yes.
And this one was another just great challenge.
I don't know what the final. I'm a huge fan of the Dirty Harry Coke bottle, standing on Coke bottle thing. So,
I like that challenge as well. That's one of my favorites.
I don't know how I would do on it, but I love it so much.
Yeah,
so
totally.
and I felt like this could be as close as we get to that. And I'm like, oh no, I would rather have the Coke bottles. But if this is not, if we still, then I love this.
I reckon they'll have something crazy cooked up for the final challenge. Like, surely it's Australia versus the world. They're gonna have something just like batshit insane.
Well, they did the Coke bottles on Harry's second season, like episode 30.
Yeah.
So or day 30, not episode 30. I don't know. So all right. Janine's out, Lisa's out, Parv is asleep, Shawnee out, and we get a JLPism, and oh my God, do we all love this man so much? Nowhere to hide on this one. You gotta dig deep, and I'm like, oh my God, give them all to us. Give us the hits, JLP.
Yeah.
Whew.
What you don't like? That's how you do it on Survivor. Repeat over and over again.
You want to know what you're playing for? So you get this from JLP. In America, we get weird Jeff Probst going, weird good things happen. It's like, oh my God, do not say that, especially like that. Oh, what has happened? All right. Luke is dying. Tommy's out at the 5-minute mark. Then Luke. Kirby's trying real hard to show off for her girlfriend, but 12 minutes in, she's out. It is so fun. She is literally trying to show off her party. And I'm just totally. Like, girl, play your own game. Remember episodes 1 through 5 when you were doing awesome? Play that game.
Yeah.
All right. It's Parv versus Cass. JLP says, it's that showdown. Are they going to cut another deal? And Parv's like, shut the fuck up. I was like, Parv. So here is, I feel, a potential problem in Parv's game. Cass won't lose in this challenge.
No.
Parv felt secure and then realized that the writing was on the wall. She throw out the rest. It's like, hey, I'll let you in.
Yeah.
I don't get where like this is a pretty good pay you back scenario. Like, why are you saving this for something later?
Well, potentially it's not Parvati that's saving it. Potentially it's Cass that's saving it and says, no, I think I'm winning this one, so I don't want you to step down from this one, right? Like, I suspect that in Cass's mind, it's no, when I'm losing to you, then I can take it.
Well, I still pitch it.
To be fair, they might have pitched it and they might not have just not shown it. Yeah.
But I'm definitely pitching it. So, totally. and even if I don't pitch it afterwards, I'll be like, so we're good because so
good. I stepped down totally deliberately.
Yeah. I mean, did you not? Oh, well, because I was saying I told Suri, I was like, oh, this is the make good. And she was like, oh yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask Suri. And Suri's
Yeah.
like, ciao.
I don't know.
I'm confused.
I'm too old for this.
For the record, everyone, Suri is never confused. When
No, she's
Suri in every other confessional says she's confused, she just don't want to tell you shit because she knows how production works.
Yeah, I think you're totally right there.
Yeah. So yeah, Suri is never confused. She always knows. So, all right. Let's see. Cass wins. Luke is here for a blind side of his own. All right, we'll see. Parv is Parv to Cass. Hey, you've been saying my name. And she's like, no, I'm world strong. And so Parv tells her girlfriend Kirby. Kirby wants an un-American gone. Parv doesn't care who, Lisa or Tommy. Whew. You know Lisa is not appreciating this episode.
No. Especially how willing like they were to just throw her name out after she's been working with them for the whole time. Like I was like, oh, that's cold.
It's just like, it's Tommy. You know, like...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, surely it's just Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy don't give a fuck about Parvati. Lisa does. You know, Lisa's getting 8x10 signed when she leaves the airport.
Yeah. Question, I'm curious to know your thoughts. How do you feel about the whole confront a person directly about them hearing that they threw your name out strategy that Parvati does here?
I'm for it because I before I went on my first season of Survivor, like I studied the human tells when they're when they're lying, and so more times than not, like it shit like that doesn't work with a Parvati, but shit like that works with Elisa. Sorry, Lisa.
Yeah, shit like that especially works with people who have English as their second language, which I feel like would make this whole thing so much harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I agree with you. I'm generally, for multiple reasons, I'm very pro it. Like, I think you can potentially catch people out, or also you can feel reassured. Like, I think it's better to have, and even if you're wrong, I think it's better to play definitively than play with the question in your mind. Like, I think it's better to come up with a firm answer, even if you're wrong, and play with that firm answer, than just sit there with the question in the back of your mind. Because I think the, like, anxiety and the paranoia will kill your game a lot more than even just having the wrong read there.
Yeah, and maybe that bond isn't as strong. After that conversation, maybe that bond is stronger.
I think also part of that is reading how the other person will react. I'm someone that I want it. Like one of the reasons why I got along so well with Zara on our season is that Zara would always tell me exactly how she was feeling at all times, which was amazing. I loved it. Yeah, because no one else out there is doing that, right? Everyone else is like talking behind your back. Zara would just come up to me and be like, Myles, you pissed me off doing this thing. And I'd be like, okay, well, this is why I did it. This is how we can move forward, etc. Like, that's amazing if you can actually get that and get that kind of relationship with someone. But yeah, obviously it does depend on who it is, because sometimes you might just wig that person out completely.
Well, I feel like Zara has lots of practice asking for a manager.
Yeah.
I feel Zara has requested to speak to a manager on multiple occasions.
Totally. And I've worked in customer service, so I'm totally comfortable with with just sitting there and being like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
100%. Perfect relationship. Yeah.
There we go. All right, we get it. So Parv has to promise Kirby she will never write down her name. Ooh, this one's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
This is bad. Here is as much as I loved yesterday with the Parv, it's just like, hey, or with Shawnee's like, hey, you guys wanted this Parv thing. Here we go. I understood the assignment. This is for the fans. Thank you. She's like, I really don't see the Parv, Suri, Kirby, myself thing as a long-term relationship. And I'm like, girl, I like that line just as much. She was like, I did it. I know what you wanted. I understood the assignment. I didn't fuck it up out of the get-go. However, this relationship isn't. This is a loveless marriage.
Yeah. Especially she's distinctly the fourth wheel in this relationship.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she can see Kirby making doe eyes at Parvati, and Parvati has Suri, and she's just sitting there like, oh, okay.
Yeah. This is like that show Big Love, and she's the wife that does the bookkeeping. So there's the wife that
Reference over my head.
Well, Big Love, it's a Mormon polygamy relationship.
Oh.
So we've got the wife that he takes out for the business meetings, to show off. She's the face of the marriage along with the other, but she's the face. And then he has the one that he takes on vacation. And then he has the one that he has lots of sex with. And then he has one that does the books.
That's Shawnee.
Shawnee's just like, do I look like the one that does the books? I like I like margaritas.
Yeah.
And you don't want me carrying the one after 8 margaritas. Like, this is really, I'm out. I love it. All right. Let's see. Luke is on a world tour. He's going to Quebec, Finland, and wherever the other one is from.
That was wild that he said that.
I am for all that. So, yes. And so they agree on Suri, and I'm just like, whoa, I don't like where this episode's going. Suri's my girl.
Yeah.
So this one's so Janine explains when she tells you what's best, what's in your best interest, it's always in her best interest. And she says that in business. And I'm just like, do not make a business deal with Janine.
Yeah. Apparently, she'll be just lying and saying your competitor is the person that you're working with, your previous supplier, is trying to backstab you, even though they're not. She'll just make it up.
Yeah. So
planting the seeds.
This is the return of the Godmother, and we have not seen the Godmother on the first 5 episodes.
She had a cracker episode. She had a very, very good episode here.
Yeah. So, Janine tells Suri Kirby is lying. She is like, she's still learning. Yeah, right. Did you watch her season? And Suri's like, I watched her season. She is lying. And I'm like, yeah. And Suri is just like, look, I'm potentially down. Well, did you love that she, Janine somewhat throws out. She doesn't say Kirby, but it's in the atmosphere. Yeah. And she's looking for Suri to say it, and Suri's just like, bitch, you say it. She's like, you need to say it before I say it, because I don't need you walking over there saying Suri said it first.
That's a classic Survivor. I got in so much trouble for that on my season, because I'd just say the name everyone was thinking, and then it would always get back to the person and whatnot. But that's a classic Survivor play of like, yeah, you know who we're all thinking about, right? Tell us who we're all thinking.
Yeah.
No, listen, I'm thinking the same thing, but you say the name.
I'm not worried about that part. I'm a bigger proponent of, I want you to think it's your idea. So it's just like, say the name. It's just like Billy is like, yeah, what was that other name you were thinking? It's like Susie. That other name you were thinking. Bob? Yes, Bob. We got to vote on Bob. Oh my God, what a great idea. You're a genius, Bob. I'm so glad you thought of that first or third, whatever.
You see, I think that's what Janine's doing, but I think what Suri's doing is I want to maintain, I don't want her name coming out of my mouth, right? Yeah. So Janine's doing Janine's doing I want you to say it so it's your idea, and Suri's doing but I don't want to say it.
Yeah. So we're going to document that you said it. I'm cool. Yeah. But we're documenting that you said it.
Yeah, this was your idea.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just the human chess going on between two just elite players, right?
Yeah. I think this episode is really good for because obviously Janine hasn't played for a while, and she played on like a newbie season, right? And so there's a lot of questions about whether it can be repeated. And she did definitely look like one of the players that was a bit out of her depth in those early pre-merge episodes. But this episode, I think, does a really good job to kind of like get her back up to speed with where everyone else is, kind of reputationally, and how we're all feeling about it. Where it's like, no, Janine is a player, and she should be taken really seriously here.
Yeah. So Kirby's number one. Suri was like, Kirby's number one was Sarah. Wait a second.
Yeah. Hold on.
And she also says Aussies can be scary, or Aussies are scary.
Yeah. Well, she hates Aussies. She hates everything Australian.
She does. She does. Kirby is a big piece of meat, and don't start it if you can't finish it.
Yeah.
That's true. So Sari runs and tells the Un-Americans, and then Sari to Parvati, she is like, Kirby votes out her number ones, and you're now her number one.
Yeah.
And Parv is like, no, she's my girl. Oh, I am her number one if I'm her girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah. I think Sari, Janine had a great episode. I think Sari had pretty much the best episode of anyone here, right? Like she's seemingly perfectly positioned where she like, you know, Kirby was Parv's girl, right?
Yeah.
And Sari was in this blind side to take out Sarah, right? Where they get Shawnee and Kirby on side. So it gives the world control. But then she's also like, no, but the internationals are mine. Right, like like Kirby and Shawnee there with Parv, but I've got the internationals on my side. Parv's a great shield. I know they're going to target Parvati before they target me. So let's get out Kirby. And she seems to have pulled Janine in, right? Like I was getting the vibe that Janine and Sari were a thing, right? Like you didn't see Janine chatting with the internationals. You saw her chatting with Parvati a bit, but not so explicitly. It really seemed like that, like Janine and Sari was the connection there that was bringing that two together. If so, like Sari is incredibly well positioned on the tribe.
Yeah, no, this was as much as it was a coming out episode for Janine, it was like Sari is the star of the show of this episode.
It's like it's kind of a bit of a reminder. Like Parvati's been getting all the attention, but I'm like, you forget I'm a Sari. I'm the best player who's never won, right? Like, don't forget I'm still here and I'm actually running this game, and I've gotten Parvati to just vote out someone who is literally ready to die for her.
Yeah, the games I haven't won, look at who won. Like I was up there, and I went home with no votes.
Yeah.
So, all right. Cass is like, Kirby causes chaos, and you know, and I'm sure she's like, and Parvati, I could be your girlfriend too. Just, I mean, you know, I want to physically dominate you, but I want to be your girlfriend. Yeah. And Kirby says she feels like a jealous girlfriend. I'm like, oh no. Yeah. And she reveals that her insecurities were caused by Ferris. Ferris with the shout out. What's up, Ferris?
Yeah, more Ferris. Ferris is getting more airtime than Tommy in this season.
Yes. So then Parv in her final confessional before Tribal says, am I going to save Kirby with my idol? Am I Khaleesi? Will Kirby become my fire-breathing dragon? I'm just like, I don't think of Parvati knowing pop culture.
Yeah.
Like the Kelly Wentworth of it all. You're just like, you know, Kelly Wentworth, she watches every true crime thing. She watches every cool thing on Netflix. She's doing the skits, you know, like you think like I imagine Parvati just like, you know, like writing stories about how great she is and then putting them in a book. Oh, wait, she did that.
Well, it's one of those people, like those larger than life personas, right? Like I feel like Dave Janae probably has this where it's like you're not a normal, like people don't see you as like a normal person, right? Like Kelly's an example of the opposite. Like I feel like I fit in that where it's like, okay, big player, but obviously still just like a really normal person. Yeah. Parvati and Dave Janae and some of these other guys are just like, oh, they're like almost these just. Boston Rob probably has this a bit. These people that are just so great, they can't be normal people, right?
Yeah, I could imagine Parvati not having a television.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So the fact that she's doing Game of Thrones, I'm like, oh my god, she's like us. All right, it's Tribal and time to bring in the jury. It's Sarah. She cleans up well, and God, did she sound so hot? I mean, like she's a beautiful. I mean, she's a model for a reason. Yeah. But her voice, she is one of the hottest sounding people I've ever heard in my life.
She has a lovely voice. It's right. It's like the really nice, trim Aussie female accent, not like the it's good. Also,
my friend Chrissy, she's second place.
Yeah, you got the two ends of the Australian female accent.
You're saying that they're not comparable. Okay.
I was really intrigued. We probably got more jury interaction than we kind of ever see, right?
Yeah.
I know that on my season I interacted with the jury more than anyone and more than most people do ever. Like there was one point where I was basically one-on-one with the jury when everyone in the Casbo, when everyone was chatting, and I was essentially like almost talking to them. But here we saw JLP literally encouraging almost explicit interaction with the jury. Yeah. which is crazy, especially because I know modern US Survivor, right? Like,
Jeff hates that.
Really, Jeff hates it. Yeah. I think in Australia, it's a bit, you're still not supposed to, but they're more okay with the TV theatrics of it in Australia. Like, you're not supposed to, but if it suits kind of the whole vibe of everything, because we love those like fun jury reactions and whatnot. But this was very explicit. This was basically JLP going, Kirby, what do you have to say to the person you just put on the jury?
Yeah. So no, it was like, I feel like in the US, tribal's just a thing. Like, for a player like me, it's worthless. I'm just here to vote. Do not ask me anything. I'm not going to give you a real answer. This
totally.
Is so stupid. I hate all of this. It's like, but that's the one time you can be honest. I'm like, no, that's called a fucking confessional. Shut up.
Yeah.
This is not the one time you can be honest. And with Australia, like I one of my first interviews I did as a podcaster was with Lou Toki. And he was like, Australian Survivor, that's when you get your shit in. So if that episode is not about you and you're not the narrator, or you're not getting as many confessionals as you feel that you deserved, fucking go to Tribal and make it yours.
Yeah, Tribal is the moments in Australia, right? Like, you got all the stuff happening at camp, and that it is what it is. But the memorable Australian Survivor moments are like all Tribal moments, versus in the US, I do feel like there's a lot more of those memorable camp moments. And also what we have as well is that the jury is so much more performative. Like, I watched just the outfits alone, right? Like, you look at the US Survivor outfits versus the Australian Survivor outfits. US Survivor, they are not dressed enough. They are, with the exception of Sol.
I was about to say, Sol changed the deal.
Yeah, Sol was the exception, but with the exception of him, if you look at the last couple of years of US juries, they are looking like they're just dads and mums on a vacation, essentially. But you look at the Aussie Survivor people, and they're going with the explicit intention to wow everyone. Like, my outfits never even made it, but I had some very funky, snazzy outfits that I was planning to wear. And the big reactions and whatnot. Like, the jury, I think, is Tribal, and the juries are so much more of a thing in Australian Survivor.
Yeah, I am of the thought process: do not bring clothes for jury because you don't want to be there.
No, but if you are there, you want to look good.
I know, but I don't want to push it into existence.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think that for a lot of people, like on our season, for a lot of people, it's you're off the show. This is how you stay on the show, right? Like,
I know, I get it. I just, I'm just a wish it into existence type of person. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like for the Tribals in general, it's a drama and theatrics thing, right? Like, Australian Survivor, I do feel like likes to ham up the drama and theatrics a lot more than US Survivor, especially in the modern day. Like, I feel like US Survivor, it's a lot more about just the show, while Australian Survivor, it's about the theatrics, and a big part of the theatrics is big explosive tribals and like crazy jury reactions and flashy outfits and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I like it. I just,
I agree. I like it a lot. Yeah.
So, well, the conversations are overwhelming, even for Sari. Luke explains the Sarah move was Kirby's. Parv says Survivor 101 is when someone says your name, you vote them out. Sari's like, that's true, but are you being hoodwinked, flim-flammed, or bamboozled? Kirby explains to Sarah directly she needs to respect big moves and moves against her. And what Parv needs is to get to the end. What Parv needs to get to the end will be more solid after this vote. And it is indeed time to vote, to which Luke writes SERRE. And Luke explains he has no idea how to write. I feel like that shouldn't have even counted.
Yeah, dreadful spelling there.
Yeah. Shawnee writes Sari, spelled correctly. Kirby writes Lisa. Janine writes Kirby. Says, you're welcome, David. JLP says, if you have an idol, now would be the time to play it. And the answer is nothing, which means no. Time for the votes. It's Sari, misspelled, to which Sari says, God, at least spell my name right. That's where I'm at. I would tell people before Tribal, there's no H in Johnny. Like, I'm just letting you know. And Burton's like, shut the fuck up. And I'm just like, no, if I'm going home, they're going to spell my name right.
Yeah, though also a lot of people misspell people's names deliberately just to
Oh,
kind of
well, and they literally did. They're just like, oh, I'm fucking sending you home and I'm misspelling your name.
Yeah.
So, so the votes are Suri, Lisa. Oh, that was Kirby's, right?
Yeah.
Kirby looks to
Oh my god.
Parvati.
She looks gutted.
What have you done?
Yeah.
You have literally ruined the proposal at the finale.
Yeah.
I had an outfit I was having brought in. It is my second clothes that I've purposely kept in the bag, even though they match the blue outfit I was supposed to wear tomorrow. And no hugs.
No. Oh my
So
god.
she hugged I think she hugged Luke.
She hugged the Aussies, yeah.
Yeah. And she goes to JLP and says they're all liars, to which Parvati, I don't like this. And I know there's people that do. Like when Tony got voted out, she had the wah, wah. I don't like that shit. Like, I feel it's disrespectful.
I think it depends. I mean, I don't remember what she did in this vote, but
I can tell you, she goes, bye.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that depends on how sincere it was because I don't remember that, so I don't know. I don't know how sincere it was. But for something like the Tony one, I think it's more all right, particularly because they had that big blow up
The
in
shoe.
travel. Yeah, like I specifically think if you've got like if you've had like a big altercation with someone and then you've come out on top, I think it's actually all right, even if they are a great, to kind of rub it in their face a bit. Because like Tony was going, rightfully or wrongfully, Tony was going at her at that tribal. So there was a bit of like, yeah, sucked in, I won. But definitely in a world where like, as opposed to there's been this explicit fight, if you have blindsided someone, I do think it's a bit more disrespectful to kind of make fun of them on the way out, because like it's not like you two are going at each other. It's not like you've got this like rivalry. They haven't done anything to you to deserve that. So I do
be in love with you. Like that's what they
yeah
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge believer in shit talk and smack talk, and I do that. However, like pick your
yeah.
The phrase act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
You've been there before. You're better. Like you did your damage throughout the episode. You did your damage on the vote. Like I don't like the wah wah. Even like yes, Tony did the theatrics. Yes, Tony did the shoot. Yes, but you won. He went home. I don't need the wah wah afterwards. I just don't. I personally don't like it. And then the bye is just like. Ugh.
I do get it as well from one thing that I hate is the punching down from a position of power as well. Like when you're in control of the tribe and especially like as someone that was on the bottom a lot, like it was and seeing other people who are on the bottom.
But what about your gameplay?
low hanging. But yeah, it is rough to see someone like get kind of made fun of or talked down to or whatever on the way out when it's like they're already getting voted out, right? Like they've already lost. Like it doesn't need to be rubbed in like that.
Yeah, if you deserve it, like if someone's been yes, Tony and Parv got into it, but they're still friends. Like, I just. But like if someone's like if you're around camp, it's just like, Fairplay's a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. And then, I get you and just like, yeah, who's the piece of shit now? Like that. So, but, like if someone that, that I just did, it's just the signs didn't, we
fair, that's why I think that with Tony, it's not too bad, right? Like, especially because Parvati was protecting Tony, well, at least she was trying to protect Tony, right? In her mind, she's trying to protect Tony, and then Tony's just come at her at this tribal council out of nowhere. And whether rightfully or wrongfully, she feels pretty attacked. And so she's going like, oh, well, how'd that turn out for you, essentially? So that's why I do have more like okayness with it in that specific situation, even though I am a big Tony fan. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. So, well, next time on Survivor, Tommy is headhunting, and that's about it.
I hated how much they gave away in this promo. I really hated it. I hate the Australian Survivor promos. They did it on my season multiple times where they spoil like half the shit in the promo, and so there's just no tension throughout the episode because you kind of have an idea of what's going going to happen. Like I
I kind of phase it out with the exception of Tommy's headhunting. I'm like, all right, we're good.
I should phase it out. I should do better at that because I like on my season, it drove me mental, and it's happened again here where I'm just like, oh, this gives away so much information.
Yeah. So, well, Kirby says the par vote hurt the most. Understandable. And like we went into this and it was just like, oh my God, I'm just like, I didn't feel good after this. I mean, because like, I've met Kirby, I know I know a lot of these people. And do I love a good blindside more than life itself? I think blindsides are amazing. But as I said, I think this one's a little more palatable without the bye.
Yeah, maybe. As far like ignoring the buy because I totally missed the buy,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it partially because and again, this is probably a byproduct of how my game went, so I've got a particular viewpoint on it. But there's nothing I enjoy more than watching someone who's ridden the entire game on the top get blindsided. It's genuinely, it's my my favorite vote of my season, and I love her. I'm such close friends with her now. But watching Laura get blindsided after she rode the top the entire game and she had no idea it was coming caused me like the deepest of deep satisfactions of like any of the votes out there. Like there's something that I just love about someone, especially if they've just made a bad move. Because I also like bad moves being punished, right? Kirby has made a bad move here.
He's made a bad move.
She's been riding the top the whole game. She's brimming with confidence this and last episode, right? She feels like the top dog, and then right when you're at your peak, you in classic Survivor fashion, you get cut down. And that in my mind is some of my favorite Survivor is you got this person who thinks they're the top dog, they think they're running things, they're actually playing sloppier than they realize, and boom, suddenly it's all gone. So I really enjoyed it for that reason.
I think if I had not met Kirby, I would have loved this episode.
It was harsh, obviously, with how clearly affected she felt. I don't know if I've seen anything like you see some early boots, right? Like a first or second boot who is clearly just distraught. But especially by the time you hit merge, you don't see many of these people who are voted out and are just gutted like that.
Yeah. So as I said, like, me and Kirby aren't close, but I've met her twice and she's all there, it's like, Logan and Laura and they're just like, you understand how it works. Like you've met her. I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't, mesmerized or, hypnotized or whatever, but I do see the aura that is Kirby. And for me, like, it's just a mutual admiration side. It's just like, hey, you're awesome. You're awesome. No, you're awesome. Like, So, so as I said, if I hadn't met her, I would have been like, oh man, this was fucking good. But like, I'm just like, oh, this fucking sucks.
I think it's a really big, one thing that I think is a really big shame is that I had a brief look at like the Reddit comments and on Twitter and whatnot. And there's a lot of discussion about like, Kirby is actually like a shit player. Like, But Kirby, Kirby came 5th in Titans versus Rebels in a game where she was the top dominant threat of the game. And then in this game, completely dominated the pre-merge and then just got bamboozled by Parvati Shallow, arguably like one of the two, in my opinion, one of the two best players of all time, right? Like, I don't think there's really any shame in losing Aussie versus the world in general, let alone losing it in the way that she did, where she dominated and then just got beat by one of the best players who's ever played. Like, and I think it's a real shame that like that's what the conversation is about her, as opposed to what a fun episode, what a fun blindside, what like the hilarious storylines of the like love stories that are going on. Instead of that, it's a lot of discussion of like, oh, actually Kirby's a really shit player when she's obviously not. She's obviously an incredible player.
Yeah. So no, I'm with you. So well, this what a way to wrap the week.
Great week.
Myles, you picked the right episode.
yeah. Had a lot of fun watching this and had a lot of fun talking about it. It was great.
Yeah. So next week, I believe, I'm not positive, I believe I have Laura and Karin on an episode. I believe I have Logan back, definitely not on Sunday.
You and Karin are going to be fun on a podcast together. I've the other podcasts she does, especially the ones that are, because there's some of the podcasts that are like the nice chill podcasts, and then there are some of the podcasts that are like the more off the cuff, unhinged podcasts. And when she's on those ones, or when she's just chatting in real life, like I think I feel like with Logan, Laura, and I, you get some of the more. Like, I know I'm not going crazy and like spouting with these like anything off the cuff too much, but with Kaz, I think you could probably get some pretty good content out of her.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm excited. And Myles, love to have you back again next week. We will figure out the schedule, but that's the tentative lineup with pieces moving around. Myles, you're on the socials. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Myles M. Kuah on Twitter, or just at Myles Kuah on Instagram. I've got some music coming out next week, which is cool. Yeah, it's just a little like I'm not planning to be a musician or anything, but it's just a fun little side project that I've been doing. So people can look at my Instagram and look at that if they want. But yeah, that's exciting.
Sweet. We'll put the link in the episode next week. I'm at Jonny Fairplay on everything. JonnyFairplay.com. Get your cameos, get your stuff. Tickets go on sale, I guess, later today. Me and Car Maria are hosting The Floor with Rob Lowe on Fox, and a 99 to Beat with Kim Jung premiere party. We're going head to head against the premiere of season 49 of Survivor. We're going to be at Boston. I believe it's the Essex Rooftop Bar. If I'm not mistaken, go to survivortix.com, survivortix.com. Tickets go on sale later today, probably this evening, whenever I get back. So pretty excited about that. And I think there's like 3 tickets left for me and Jam in Chicago. The Ultra VIP party, survivortix.com. Yeah, t-shirt, free food, booze, poster, all the things, insanity. And with that, leave, subscribe, like, all the things. Leave a comment because that's the best way to control the algorithm. That pesky algorithm controls everything. Apparently, we're showing up in a lot of shit, Myles. People are liking this podcast. So it's just like, hey, I just saw this. You guys are great.
Amazing.
I'm like, wow. Wait, I felt like you were great before, but apparently we're really great right now. So thank you, Myles. You're making it really great. So with that, he's Myles. I'm Jonny Fairplay. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.